Wework is a New York City-based supplier of co-working facilities that combine real-world and online shared spaces. The firm has 547,000 members as of December 31st, 2022, with a weighted average commitment duration of 19 months and 43.9 million square feet of space under management, including 18.3 million square feet in the United States and Canada, in 779 sites across 39 countries. 2019 saw the business's unsuccessful initial public offering, IPO, of company stock, which attracted the attention of the general public. The company faced a barrage of criticism following the release of its public prospectus in August 2019 about its governance, business strategy, and profitability. In this video, the topic of our discussion is the fall of Wework. So don't go anywhere and keep watching this informative video. It's quite simple to concentrate on Adam Neumann, the founder and ousted CEO of the real estate firm We Company, who is a tall, long-haired, barefoot, meat-banning, weed-smoking individual. Neumann's goals were just as absurd as his image. The company aims to encompass all aspects of people's lives in both the physical and digital worlds, rather than just renting desks. The WeWork model has been extended to residential dwellings and educational institutions. Neumann conceived the idea for We Sleep to We Sail to We Bank long before he founded the business. Even if none of them will ever materialize, perhaps he was wise to consider other options other than subleasing office space. The business is in trouble because he created it. Soon after WeWork officially filed plans for an initial public offering of shares on August 14th, everything started to go wrong. After 6 weeks, Neumann decided to step down as CEO and relinquish control of the majority of WeWork's equity. The projected valuation for the business had been cut in half, and the IPO had been scrapped outright. The public disclosure of long-known facts helped the failed IPO and the company's eventual acquisition by SoftBank, its major investor. WeWork was losing a lot of money. Its estimates of the size of the market for shared office space were absurdly optimistic, and its corporate culture and business plan was entirely dependent on Neumann and his strange whims and ideas. Since at least 2015, when BuzzFeed first revealed materials WeWork had used to entice investors, the company's business model has been known to be pricey and has a limited road to profitability. Meanwhile, Neumann's odd behavior had been part of the sales pitch from the beginning. The addition of alleged self-dealing and self-enrichment by Neumann to the core model of leasing office buildings, converting them into shared workspaces, providing free beer to tenants, and then relying on a rotating cast of freelancers, venture-funded startups, and some larger corporations to pay rents that could be as short as a month at a time, seemed to make this year's WeWork stories different and more damaging. However, Neumann's propensity to lease back buildings he partially owned to WeWork and sell stock wasn't previously reported either. On January 9, 2019, in Los Angeles, California, Adam Neumann delivered a speech on stage at WeWork Presents' second annual Creator Global Finals at Microsoft Theater. Even while the company's footprint and worth were expanding, WeWork's number was usually among the more pessimistic portions of the financial press. WeWork and Neumann made a valiant effort to swim against the stream, much like a filmmaker caught in an unexpected and crucial storm. The flood of animosity eventually somewhat stemmed when Neumann ultimately gave WeWork the $6 million or so he received in exchange for the term "we." But the valuation was not improved by that, not a thing. Before the capitulation was complete, bankers suggested reducing the company's value by more than 50%. On September 24th, Neumann lost his job and the WeWork show was canceled. There would be no introduction and no computer whirling at the NASDAQ servers in New Jersey. The firm is now majority owned by SoftBank and valued at $8 billion, far less than the $13 billion invested in it. Documents sent to possible venture capitalists have been the basis for earlier exposés of WeWork's bizarre business practices. WeWork had to make some additional discoveries when it used the bond market to borrow hundreds of millions of dollars. The investor records revealed that WeWork lost $883 million in 2017 while generating about $886 million in sales. According to a Financial Times leak, the corporation lost $1.9 billion in 2018, despite generating about $1.8 billion in revenue. The corporation may have concluded a meeting announcing layoffs with a performance by a member of Run DMC, his wife may have fired workers for their negative energy, and his private jet excursions may have involved some unintentional transit of marijuana over international boundaries. However, one lawsuit claims that Neumann's management style and informal corporate culture weren't just about Maldives surfing, homes shaped like guitars, and pricey experimental schools. A former Wework employee claimed in a civil lawsuit last year that she had been groped or forcibly kissed at corporate events, including a Wework summer camp that was alcohol-fueled, and that her complaints had received little attention from human resources and little to no action against her alleged attackers. Later, she lost her job. The employee's complaint said that the sexual harassment and assaults of plaintiff did not occur in a vacuum. They are a part of the entitled frat boy mentality that permeates Wework from the top down, according to this statement. The former employee made it clear that Neumann served her shots of tequila during her job interview, and that company managers and executives heap immense pressure on employees to attend after-work events and place a premium on employees' participation in the parties that Wework sponsors. According to the business, she was sacked because of poor performance. Wework's decline from investor darling to pariah wasn't caused by any preconceived boom and bust model, nor was it due to common investor worries like projected cash flows. Wework's demise, in the opinion of the esteemed Bloomberg journalist Matt Levine, could only be explained conceptually. Something about what occurred, as well as how quickly it happened, seemed unknowable. Nobody enters venture capital because the best-case scenario is to double their money. Levine noted that Wework was worth over half the value of all publicly listed U.S. real estate investment trusts at its highest valuation. Such profits would be just too little. Maximum office landlording success would be quite discouraging for Wework, according to Levine. More audacious plans were needed. Sure, why not? If you could somehow create a business that offered micro-apartments, software, and educational facilities. Maybe one day, it will be worth $100 billion. Or at the very least, if individuals as intelligent as Wework's venture capital investors believe this, then presumably the less intelligent asset managers who invest in IPOs would as well. That wasn't how things transpired. Long-term thinking is expected of private investors, notably SoftBank, which states that its goal is to create an ecosystem that will continue to grow for 300 years. However, Wework's investors abruptly demanded from the business the focus and discipline that detractors had long claimed were lacking, forcing Wework to quickly fold. The CEO of a business worth close to $50 billion may have been expected to behave in a certain way by some of the more gloomy and anonymous asset managers, yet his venture capital backers may have urged him to keep his lofty vision. But it was those very investors, SoftBank and Silicon Valley venture capital firm Benchmark, who made him leave. Strangely enough, they were the ones who were most aware that Wework needed to acquire additional funds to address its pervasive cash burn. Well, that's all for today's video. Feel free to share your experience in the comment section. And if you like the video, why not give it a thumbs up? We'll see you in the next video, but until then, subscribe to our channel and enjoy new videos.